Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be Nocturnal from HackTheBox. This is box read about solid easy. And yeah, let's get on to the video. As always, I'm starting by splitting my terminals here. I'm connected to the VPN for HackTheBox. I want to start by pinging the IP address. We'll do ping minus count for 364. And we do get a response back from the server. So I'm going to start running mmap scan. So I'll do mmISC for default scripts when information. We'll scan out ports and IP. We'll do minus verbose. I did add the host name to my /etc hosts. That's why we do have that. That's why we do have the host name. I did put 10.10.1164 for Nocturnal HTTP, and that's why Nmap does recognize the host name. We do have port 22 open for SSH and also port 80 open for HTTP. I'm servicing port 80. Here we do get a Nocturnal here. We also do have that host name, which I did specify within my /etc host for Nocturnal HTTP. We do have a uploads application where you can upload files. The same for Word, Excel, and also PDF documents. We can also do a backup for files that need to be backed up. And that seems about it, right? I'm going to control the source code. We do have a login.php and also a register.php and also that host name at the bottom right. So you have the login, also this register, which we can probably register and also maybe do some enumeration for some users and brute force for users as well. So I'm going to run a GoBuster. So the GoBuster dir mode -u into the IP address. We'll do -w for user share word list. We'll do a dirbuster directory list with the medium.txt. We'll do extension HTML, TXT, and also PHP. Looking at the ports, we have port 22 open for SSH and also port 8 open for HTTP. We have a total of 2 ports open. We also have a login.php, register.php, view.php. We do have an uploads, but this is going to be a 403 forbidden. And the same for uploads.txt and also a uploads.html. So the main thing that we're relating to, it's going to be a login.php and also a register.php. I'm going to start by doing some enumeration for admin pass. We don't have a different output, so we can't brute force for a user. However, sometimes when you do have a register or like register for an account, you can also do this for like admin pass. And you'll see that it does not allow me to register for that user. So that means the admin user is valid or has already been registered on the application, right? We'll try this for proxy, just for proxy pass. We log in. Now we can log in, so with proxy pass. And now we are under the user for the user that I did create for proxy. So we do have files. I do want to check for, just do a PDF file. I want to get like a random file, which we can get. I'll just get this techassist.pdf. I'll make sure this is a PDF file, which it is. We do have a PDF document. I'm going to go to browse. We'll go into other location, like the box for Nocturnal for techassist.pdf. You can upload the file. And we do get a techassist_pdf. We click on it. You see that this does download the file. However, this is going to another location. So go to copy link location or copy link. You'll see that we do have the username for proxy and also the file for techassist, which it is downloading. We can either fuzz for the file or we can fuzz for the username. Let's start by testing or fuzzing for the username, right? So I'm going to use wfuzz. You can also use like ffuff for this type of enumeration or for this type of fuzzing for the username. I believe ffuff is similar to wfuzz, but personally I like using wfuzz. We're going to be fuzzing for the username, and we do have this against the techassist. We'll do -w for user share word list. I believe I do have this under usernames for Xano.txt. We'll do -hw for 0. Let's go into, I'm going to use wfuzz for help. We do have the cookie here. For -b for the cookie. We do need to specify a cookie since we are logged in. So do -b. I believe we do have the PHP sesh ID, which we do need to specify. So we can go to inspect. Go into storage, and we do have the PHP sesh ID. We'll copy the value for which is going to be our cookie. Press it on that. We don't have. And press it on that, which we did specify the cookie for our PHP sesh ID. And if we do have a valid, this should be the valid session ID for the cookie. We should get the response that we need. We also need to specify the HW for 243. I usually just run 0, but in this case, the response is not going to be 0. So I just do 243. Once I do get the wording for what the application is outputting. If we do HW243, this should exclude everything that is not the normal response that we're looking for. And now we do get the payload. So the payload is going to be, we'd have admin, a couple users. So we did confirm that we did have admin already on the machine or on the application that was already registered from the register.php. We do have Amanda. So let's go back. We'll do this for admin. File does not exist. We do have Amanda. And we do have a couple of files. We'll try the other ones for roots. We do a file.pdf. And it does seem like we just have Amanda and roots. So let's go back to Amanda. We do have a WoW. I believe these are already uploaded. We'll go into privacy.odt. So we'll cancel that. We'll make a new directory for files. We'll see into files. We'll copy from /root. I'll go into my downloads for privacy.odt. If we go into private, if we run the file against privacy, we do see that this is open document. So we can just simply unzip this for privacy.odt. You'll see that all the files are packaged into that ODT file. So we do have configurations. We don't need to go into meta. We have thumbnails, context.xml. We'll cat this out. We'll grep out for, let's go into a leaf pad. This should be easier for context XML. It doesn't seem like this is going to be forwarded right. Let's check for some passwords. And we do have a password here. If we go to Nocturnal, it's set the temporary password for you. We do have the password for ARHK. And we can just simply copy this password. I believe you can also do a, if you want to do this against the whole directory, you can do like a -INR. This will scan for the whole directory for any grep for password, right? So let's go back. Let's go back into the login.php. We'll do this for Amanda. We find the password. And it does seem to be the password for Amanda. So I'm going to keep this within a leaf pad for Amanda. We do have that password. We also do have an admin panel here, which we can view. And we do have file structure for, I'm guessing it's going to be for the document root for var www.html. We can create a backup. We can enter a password. Let's go into check all these files here, which we do have. We do have an admin.php. So let's see, looking into this code, we do have a command here, which is being executed. We can tell this by, we go to password. We do have the clean entry for the post password. If we go to command, we'll see that we do have that variable for the password, which is being executed. And we don't have any, it does seem like this is directly being passed into the password parameter. If we try to back this up, let's try to send this or back this into a backup. Let's send this within burp and see if we can find directly pass a command for like a bash -c. So go to next, we'll go to start burp. So I'm going to go to my proxy, go to proxy settings for my specific IP address. I do need to specify the 10.10.16.57, I believe is my IP address. Let's go to options. I don't have this specified for we'll go to add, we'll do this for HTTP. Let's open, let's get my IP address for 10.10.16.57. This should match within 1657. So we do have that. Let's go back to Firefox. We'll do some ports. I did have to specify on port 8080 by default for 8080. We're going to save that. Seems to be saved. Let's go back. Now it has for HTTP. We can turn this on. We'll create the backup. We got the request, and we do have the password parameter, which is being showed up. Let's try to do a bash -c. So we'll do a bash -c. We'll do this for ID. I just want to see if we're under www data. So I'll do a %0a. This will allow me to create a new line. Also between the spaces, we do a %09. This will be a new line. And this will be for like a space. So every time we want to execute, we can put a space there. %0a for backup. Let's specify the and if we do ID. We www data, and now we're under www data, right? So we do this for like the spacing and also for the / new line. So we're basically going to be executing this on a new line. We usually put this within in the front and also the back of the command. This allowing us to execute, right? If we do a pwd, or let's just do like we'll just do pwd for the so we don't do any spaces. You'll see that we're under backups for backup.zip, and we do get a permission denied, right? Well, actually, no, that's for the, it's not going to execute, but if we just do ID, we should be running as www data, right? So I'm going to go to pen test monkey. I want to see if we do have netcat, which most likely we don't have netcat. We can also use wget too as well to get a reverse shell. But the easiest way would be just to do a reverse shell. If we can't get a reverse shell, we can simply just use wget. So we'll do this for 10.10.16.57. %09. And this should execute. We'll do this on port 9001. So 9001, we can send this. Doesn't seem like we do get a reverse shell. Let's actually try to so we do have the data. Let's try to get a shell. So I'll just get HTTP. We'll do this for 10.10.16.57. We'll do some port 8081. We'll get the shell.sh and we'll output it to /temp shell.sh. And we can do separate commands, but I'll just do and for, I'll just do separate commands for like chmod +x. So we have 0A. We'll do wget for that. Shell.sh, and let's set up our server. So do Python 3 minus m http.server on 881. Let's create this shell.sh. $16 1656, right? Or 1657. 9001. So now we have our shell.sh. Let's run that one more time. We do get a hit back from shell.sh, or from the server for shell.sh. This was outputted to the shell.sh. Now we can just simply run a bash. So we do a bash minus, what we do need to make this into executable. So do chmod plus x / we'll do this temp for shell.sh. For temp.sh, we'll turn this executable. Now we can just run a bash for temp.shell.sh. We do have our listener up. We send that. We do ID. And now under www data. So looking back at burp, we're able to actually get the file from our server and get the shell.sh. We do need to run this individual. So we do we use wget, do chmod plus x to make this into executable. And then we output it to a specific directory for temp as shell.sh. And we just simply run a bash against the shell.sh once it's executable. And now we're in the www data, right? So my xort my term is equal to xterm. We do ID under www data. We do a sudo mycel. We do need a terminal. Let's run a pty. So do Python 3 minus c. We'll do the import pty. Pty.spawn. Run a /bin/bash. We do a sudo mycel. This seems like we don't have anything that can run as www data. So we are under nocturnal.htb. We do have a backup, so I'm guessing it's going to be the backups. Beatriver.php. Let's go under /var for the document root. Www. And we do have a nocturnal underscore database. This is a directory. And if we run a file against the nocturnal database db, it's going to be SQLite. So we can actually just use SQLite 3. Let's transfer this to our own machine. We'll do this for database, c into database, get http 10.0 10.10. We have this for 10.10.11.64, import 881 for nocturnal underscore database db. We have SQLite 3 for nocturnal database. We can do .tables, select, we'll go to the users, and you do see my hash, which is going to be for pass. We do have admin, Amanda, Tobias. I want to get another shell again. So we do have a user. We do have a user which I didn't check under /home to see if we do have that valid user. Let's go under /home. And we do have Tobias. So we do have user as Tobias. We don't have Amanda. If we cat the /etc password, we'll get out for bash. I do want to check if we do have other users for Amanda. In this case, we just do have bash for Tobias, which is able to be logged in as through SSH, right? So I'm gonna get the hash for Tobias. We'll use the rocku.txt. We'll do hash.txt. We're gonna crack his hash. So do John -- word list for user share word list. We'll do rocku.txt for hash.txt. We don't know what hash this is. We can just put this in hash identifier. This will tell us, seems like to be MD5. So you can do -- format is equal to, I believe it does tell us too. We have a raw MD5. -- format for raw underscore or raw MD5. And we have that password. I'll put this into our leaf pad here. Now I'm SSH into the user, which we do have for Tobias. This is in Tobias at 10.10.10.11.64. We do have his password. We do ID, and now we're into Tobias. So I'm gonna start running a sudo mycel. Doesn't seem like we can run anything as Tobias. We do have user.txt. We do have SQLite.history. Let's cat this out. Nothing under there. We'll check the history for history, and we don't have anything under the history, right? I'm gonna start by checking for any active connections that we do have. We do have port 8081 and also running on port 8080. I do want to check for port 8080, see if we do have anything running. Since we don't have, we can't use Chisel usually. Well, we can use Chisel, but doesn't have the necessary libraries to run Chisel. We have to do this connecting from our machine to connecting to the machine and forwarding this back to our machine on port 8080. So do this for ports. I like doing it for the same port. Port 8080 is going to be the port that's going to be on local machine, and port 8080 is going to be what's on the remote machine. We do have Tobias at 10.10.11.10.10.11.64. Now we do have that password. So I'll just do this for localhost for port 8080. And we do get a ISP config. So I'm going to start by checking for ISP config for, we'll just do this for exploit. And also for ISP config, we'll do this for default login. We have this for default login for admin and also root. So I'll just try this for like admin. This didn't work. We'll just try this for root. And it doesn't seem like that is the right password. So I'm going to start by checking into the exploit. Usually for these types of applications, we do have a version here, which we can check. It is version 3.2. So try this for version 3.2. What is for GitHub? We do have this Python exploit, which we can execute for 3.2. Just find the URL, the username, and the password. Also do want to check for admin and also the password that we did find. So the password that we did find was going to be under our leaf pad. And it does seem to log in. So I'm just going to git clone that repository. We'll do a Python 3 for CVE. We'll specify the URL. We'll take out the index.php for admin. And we do have that password. So we do ID. Now into root, cd into root. Check our PWD. It doesn't seem like we can cd into root, but we do have our root.txt. Well, guys, it's been a video. Don't like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.